Hi guys, welcome to another video. Today's video is not only about painting a lure, it's also a little story about failing and not giving up. It's about criticizing your own work, analyzing the mistakes you made, and trying to improve with the next lure that you are painting. It all started with my first try at this Arowana pattern. Now every time when we start a new project or lure, we always have this clear image in our head of what our expectations are on how we want that lure to look like, and most of the time this does not meet our expectations. This lure is a perfect example of a lure that did not live up to my expectations, and I didn't know how to fix it. I did everything by the book, and still this lure didn't turn out the way I wanted to be. So I have spent hours looking at this lure and wondering, how can I fix this problem? How can I make this pattern more realistic? Now, perception is very different for everybody. Some people might have been happy with the results of this lure, but I was expecting a very realistic Arowana pattern, and this lure didn't turn out that way. All I want to say with this, guys, is don't stop being creative. Don't give up if you fail once. We all fail a lot. The only way to learn something is by failing, because if you would do everything right from the beginning, there is nothing to learn. So always criticize your work, analyze the mistakes you made, and try to do better next time. But don't forget, at least give it another try.
Alright, I already went ahead and I base coated my lure in black. Now I'm gonna take a little bit of white, and I'm gonna do this quickly with some Vallejo Dead white. And I'm just gonna lighten up some places where I want the gold that we're gonna apply later. I want it to be brighter there. Alright, now I'm gonna cover my entire lure with gold chrome from Createx. Alright, so our golden base is dry, and now I mixed some Wicked Black with some Wicked Black Magenta just to make it a little bit more transparent. I reduced it with about 40% reducer and added some 40-50, so it's quite transparent. And now I wanna lay down I wanna outline my scales first. So I'm gonna use this stencil, but I'm not gonna cover the entire lure with it. I am just gonna spray the middle and maybe a little bit on the upper side. I'm gonna shoot this from the back to the front, so I just fill in only the beginning of every scale. But I think I'm gonna have to put my lure on the table for this. And now I'm gonna add some smaller ones. Alright, now we got our scales outlined, and I'm gonna add just a little bit of black to the beginning of every scale. I'm gonna do this freehand. Right, so now I got Wicked Opaque Bismuth Yellow Vanadate in my chamber, and I reduced it with some 4011 and some 4050 to make it a little bit more transparent, and I'm gonna try to brighten those tips of those scales again, because they are a little bit too dark now, and I want to bring them back to life. Alright, now our scales are completed, and now we're gonna put the focus on the head. And as you can see on the head, we have a little bit of an overspray here from the scale, so we're gonna work that away with some Wicked Pearl Gold. And while that is drying, I'm gonna use a little bit of Game Ink Black Green and Game Color Black. I'm gonna mix a little bit of that black with that ink green, and now we're gonna use that as a wash to outline all the cracks and crevices. And because this paint is so thin, it only stays in those cracks and crevices because of gravity. Pushes it in there because it wants to run away, but because of gravity it just stays in those cracks and crevices and it doesn't go anywhere else. Now I got some wicked detail yellow in my chamber, and I'm just gonna highlight the outer side of the gill plates a little bit and create some texture in there. Now I'm gonna take a little bit of bismuth yellow vanadate and I'm gonna brighten up that gill plate just on the outside. Now I got some Vallejo hot orange in my chamber, and this is a perfect color to create a little bit more of an orangey texture in there. Alright, now this is a fantasy fish pattern. You got a lot of colors in Arowanas. So on this pattern we're also gonna do the very dark black back. I feel like the body is not really matching the head right now, because if you look at Arowanas, the head is always in theme with the body, and I feel like the body is a little too dark for the head. So I'm gonna take some wicked opaque bismuth yellow vanadate, which gives a really nice yellow coverage, and I'm gonna brighten up the end of those scales a little bit more and make them more yellow. And let's hope that sticks out and makes the entire feel of the body a little bit brighter, and that way I hope I'm gonna match it a little bit better with the head. This looks much better. The scales are much more vibrant now. This looks really good now. And the fun thing is you can do this with whatever color you want. You can do it with orange, you can do it with blue, you can do it with red. You can make really cool Arowana swim bait patterns. Now I find the back a little bit too black, so for the back I'm gonna dust a little bit of Wicked Pearl lime green on there just to make it blend in more with those scales. Now for the fins I'm gonna use some wicked bismuth yellow vanadate. Now I got some wicked pyrrole orange just to make the top of those fins a little bit more orange. Alright, let's put the eyes in. I'm gonna use these glass bead eyes from Lure Blanks. So, ready for a clear coat.
Alright guys, our lure is finished. And as you can see, these scales turned out way better than the first time, just by trying a different approach, trying to think a little bit out of the box, and I am very happy that I am able to share this technique with you as well, so that you might be inspired and do this on another blank or your own lures. And also tried a third time actually. This time I tried it with red and a little bit of green, and there's no clear coat on this one yet, but I think the results are very good. Also I did the back with a little bit of scales instead of making it totally black, and I gave him some teeth, and I think that the teeth are really a cool feature to this lure. Did that with a little paintbrush and just some white, so that's really awesome as well. So guys, whenever you are fighting with artistic depressions or fighting with disappointment, it is totally fine to just put the lure aside, put the project aside, and just give it some thought. Think about it. do some other stuff, paint some other lures while you're just thinking about how you can solve these problems or how you can achieve that effect that you're looking for. It's just so important that you don't give up on that lure pattern. Just keep working on it. A lot of amazing lure patterns out there, they were not built or created in one try, and it's very important to keep that in mind. As always guys, I will leave a link in the description below for all the products that I used for this video. This will guide you to my webshop, and if you would happen to buy anything there, you will be supporting me and my channel. Also, we are based in Sweden and we ship to the entire Europe, but also to the USA. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.